The legendary Casio F91W is cheap, reliable, and deadly, having been used as a tool of warfare by both sides of every modern conflict. In this video, we'll explore how the F91W became the preferred watch of rebels, terrorists, special operators, and everyday hipsters, because a watch is never just a watch. Watches of Espionage is curated by a former CIA case officer with a passion for timepieces. On the WOE YouTube channel, we explore the intersection of watches and the military, intelligence, and national security. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be informed when we release new videos. Coming in at around $15, the Casio F91W is likely the world's most prolific watch, with some 3 million units produced per year since its inception in 1989. This implies there are well over 100 million F91Ws in the world. Small by today's standards at 35.2 millimeters wide and 8.5 millimeters thick, the F91W is a straightforward digital watch equipped with a black resin case and strap, and paired with only the most essential digital timekeeping functions, and one of the worst backlights in watch history. After nearly 4 decades on the market, the F91W has become a global phenomenon, a ubiquitous tool offering basic yet reliable timekeeping utility to everyone from elite soft commandos to African rebels and Brooklyn art school dropouts. Juxtaposed against its cult following, the F91W's simple digital movement has also become favored for a more nefarious purpose, serving as a rudimentary timer for bad actors looking to build instruments of death and destruction. A few years ago, WOE received a temporary duty assignment in an expeditionary war zone. On one of his first days in country, he traveled to a makeshift prison to interview a suspected member of a foreign terrorist organization, or FTO. Before entering the debriefing room, the Liaison Intelligence Service provided access to the detainee's pocket litter, everything he had on his person when he was captured. Among the pile were 2 Casio F91W watches. A CIA targeter and subject matter expert accompanying WOE for the debrief explained that the F91W was commonly used by bomb makers as a detonation timer. While it's equally possible the watches were being used for the same reason WOE wore his Breitling Aerospace on operations, to tell time, the F91W has significant history with terror organizations dating back to the early days of Al-Qaeda, when the watches were reportedly issued to recruits at training camps in Pakistan and Afghanistan. When we posted our video on military watches, one question came up again and again: where's the best place to buy a watch online? Our answer? Bezel. Bezel is a luxury watch marketplace that authenticates every single watch in-house. After purchase, your watch is shipped to Bezel's headquarters, inspected by experts, and only then overnighted to you, fully insured and 100% original. No Franken watches, no aftermarket parts. With tens of thousands of watches from vetted collectors and dealers, Bezel gives you access to every level of the market, and if the watch you want isn't listed, their concierge will track it down. You also get a dedicated client advisor, someone you can text or call anytime. It all happens through a modern app designed to make buying and selling seamless. If you're in the market and want to mitigate risk, check out Bezel. Looking to buy or sell a watch? Download the Bezel app or visit getbezel.com, because in this world, authenticity is everything. In the early days of the GWAT, the F91W was regularly seen on the wrists of militants in the Middle East and South Asia. Used to time operations, specialist bomb makers were also trained to implement the watch's alarm and countdown features to initiate explosive charges. Combined with a circuit board, a 9-volt battery, and an explosive primer, the watch was a low-tech but crucial part of an effective weapon. A U.S. government study concluded that over 50 suspected Al-Qaeda members once housed at Guantanamo Bay were detained wearing either the F91W or a close relative, the A159W. Of these individuals, 1/3 were reportedly trained in explosives. While correlation doesn't necessarily equate to causation, in the business, We call this an indicator. In national security circles, the F91W and other simple digital watches are perfect examples of dual-use technology, something that at an initial glance has a legitimate civilian utility, but can also be used for military or paramilitary applications. Despite its potential as a key component of a deadly weapon, an F91W or two can be easily carried by a bad actor without attracting unwanted attention. In addition to its reputation in the intelligence community, there are several high-profile instances of the Casio F91W being utilized as a weapon by terrorist organizations. In 1994, Al-Qaeda bomb maker Ramzi Youssef used the F91W's timer function for a 4-hour delayed detonation of an explosive charge left under a seat on Philippine Airlines Flight 434. Fortunately, the explosion was not powerful enough to bring down the plane, but it did kill a Japanese tourist. Youssef also planned to use similar technology to target Pope John Paul II during a visit to the Philippines the following year. Ahmed Rassam, a known Al-Qaeda member trained in explosives in Afghanistan, was arrested in December 1999 while attempting to cross the border from Canada to the United States with 4 explosive devices outfitted with triggers composed of an F91W and 9-volt batteries. His target was the Los Angeles International Airport on New Year's Eve, a plot which led to his nickname, the Millennium Bomber. Beyond its use as an explosive timer, the F91W was also utilized as a watch by some of history's most notorious characters, including Osama bin Laden. While it's unclear whether UBL was wearing an F91W during his brief meeting with SEAL Team 6's Red Squadron in 2011, the watch was a fixture on UBL's wrist for years. Ayman al-Zawahiri, who took over as the leader of Al-Qaeda after UBL's death, wore another inexpensive Casio, the A159W, before he was removed from the field of battle by a drone strike in 2022. Despite those infamous associations, the F91W was just as common on the other side of the global war on terror. Perhaps held back by its smaller case, poor backlight, and limited water resistance compared to watches from G-Shock and Timex, the F91W never became an official option for military issue. But the watch has still served as the cheapest thing that works for countless service members, easily purchased at the PX or on the economy. In more recent years, the F91W has had wide adoption for the military and IC, with numerous members of SpecOps units leaning into the F91W as they turned away from connected smartwatches with inherent counterintelligence risks. With some basic modifications, the F91W can be made capable of impressive undersea feats, but the watch, in its stock configuration, was never intended for diving, though there are numerous examples of amphibious special operators using it for exactly that. Remember, we don't make the rules, but you should probably never bet against the F91W. Major watch media, and especially YouTube watch influencers, have extensively covered the F91W, making it one of the few super affordable watches to receive the nod from even the most snobby collectors. Many watch nerds with extensive collections, including Rolex, Audemars Piguet, and Patek Philippe, still have an F91W in the watch box, a rare sign of reverence for a digital watch that costs about as much as a Chipotle burrito. Hipsters, whether they appreciate watches or not, are also in on it, wearing the F91W and other attainable Casio watches as a sort of ironic anti-flex while working as baristas and scrambling for the last few credits of their art history degrees. Celebrities are no different, with major names like Barack Obama, Ryan Reynolds, Bill Gates, and even Napoleon Dynamite all opting for the F91W, despite having millions or even billions in the bank. The Casio F91W transcends its humble price tag and outdated tech to become something far greater than just a watch. Worn by world leaders and warfighters, hipsters and terrorists, watch collectors and regular civilians alike, the F91W is simultaneously a cheap utilitarian tool, a fashion statement, and a discreet instrument of destruction. More than perhaps any other watch, the F91W has carved out a unique niche in military history and popular culture, because in the world of espionage, war, and even fashion, the most powerful tools are sometimes the ones hiding in plain sight. Once again, a watch is never just a watch. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and hit the bell icon to be informed when we release new videos. For even more, check out our website, watchesofespionage.com, for more content, as well as our collection of watch straps and other purpose-built tools designed for our community. Until next time, happy hunting.